Count it down. 10, 9, 8. All right, gentlemen, we're live.
We're back?
We're back.
All right. Welcome back, audience. People out there on the other side of the screen.
So who's this gentleman sitting with us here today, Marco?
Right. Well, today we got GBO champion Jose Hernandez. Light Heavyweight Champion, right? All right. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. Drove all the way from Lancaster, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Hour and a half. Little traffic on the 405.
Even on a Sunday.
Even on the Sunday.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. So let's get right to business, huh?
Did something happen in boxing this weekend?
I think so. What do we have this weekend? Did you watch the fights?
Yes, I
Was
did.
that Ortiz and Wilder?
Great fight.
Yeah. What do you think? Man, what was that, the 7th round? I thought he was done, right?
It was exciting. You seen the crowd on their feet, and I thought something was gonna happen. And you got to give it to Deontay for, keeping going. He stayed up and finishing him in what was it, 10th?
I think it was the 10th. He took some hard shots.
He took some shots, but
they both took some hard shots.
They both did.
Yeah.
You know what I thought was funny about that, Chris? A lot of people leading up to the fight and on social media, you'd see a lot of videos being posted of Deontay getting hit with big shots and then, buckling, or everybody say, he's got no chin. And he took some of the biggest shots I've seen in a long time, and he weathered the storm. So he definitely gets points for that now.
Yeah, they have all the sparring videos or him and the amateurs getting chin checked and stuff like that. Everybody said he didn't have. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. But that's just, that's haters doing what they do about boxers. That's what they do. That was a great fight. Let me ask you guys something, though. So they revealed at the end of the broadcast the official scores for the fight. And all three judges had it 85 to 84 Wilder. So they had Wilder by 1 round at the time that Ortiz was knocked out. What do you guys think about that?
I thought, me scoring it at home.
Yeah.
I had Ortiz up 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah, he was up. I had him up by 3 points.
There was a few rounds that Deontay didn't do anything.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of action, but at least Ortiz was pressing him, landing a jab here and there. So I did have Ortiz up 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah. So I think, like the Associated Press, CBS, Ringside, analysts, Paulie Malignaggi, me, we all saw the same thing. I think we all saw the same thing, which is that Ortiz was clearly winning at the time that he got knocked out. So what is that? Like, how is it that the judges don't see that?
Well, that's they're saving Deontay Wilder's they're saving his undefeated record.
They were both undefeated.
But Deontay's younger and I think more marketable. Yeah, American. That's all. In case he's losing, he still wins, so we can set up the Joshua fight.
So do you think are you saying that's like bias or it's corruption? Like, are they planning to do it, or they're just like, hey, he's the American guy, we're going to do it?
Bias and corruption, those two words are, I guess, intertwined with boxing. Right? they like, it goes together. I mean, you look at the Triple G Golovkin score, that was a close fight, but really Golovkin was winning on the cards, boxing-wise. He was winning on the cards. Deontay wasn't doing anything up until he got that knockdown.
Yeah.
That was probably the only round that he won, and then he went back to not doing anything after that.
I agree.
And then he was getting pounded. That kind of woke him up. He had to do something, but I think he won maybe 3 rounds out of that 10.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean,
other than last?
You've been on the receiving end of some. I've seen a few of your fights. I mentioned that before, I think, on the All-Star cards. There's one in particular, you got a draw. I won't say which fight it was or anything like that, but it was
only draw.
It was
I was gonna say it's the only draw on his record.
We know what it is, but I won't go on.
Yeah.
It's your only draw. Not really a legitimate draw in my mind, having seen the fight. How do you feel coming out of a fight like that, where?
I mean, I was mad because that fight was a draw, but those 6-7 weeks you were training for that moment. And then the judges say, "Oh, it's a draw." You're just like, oh.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, yeah, it's a bummer." But
Yeah.
you get over it and
Just keep going.
learn from it, and you use that for future fights. You know,
Yeah.
when you go fight somewhere, somebody's neighborhood, their town, you want to beat them decisively. You want to make sure that you win. That's why they say never leave the decision in the hands of the judges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never.
Never.
Yeah, never.
I just think it's strange that we can all see the same fight, and so can CBS, the Associated Press. We all saw the same fight, except for the judges.
Well, that's because we're not getting paid. If we were getting paid, we'd see it differently. You know?
Maybe.
Absolutely.
But no, I agree. That one was wild. That was a great
Yeah.
fight for boxing. That's one of the ones where you wish that was a
That's a
pay-per-view.
great fight.
Yeah, like you wish that was a pay-per-view instead of some of the,
Yeah.
bogus pay-per-views that we get.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't like boxing and say, oh, MMA is taking over. But we've had consistently some really good,
last couple of years,
some good mega fights. And sometimes if they're not mega fights and they don't live up to the hype, there are at least some big names getting in there, So it's some good stuff going on in boxing. We're alive and well.
Yeah, I mean, even right now, like it's hard to keep up with all the. Like you said, it's several hours. I think Marco, you said last weekend you're like, I watched 5 hours of boxing.
Oh yeah, I got my pizza, sat down and watched boxing. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It seems like there's a big fight almost every week or every other week.
Yeah.
So there's a big fight next week already.
What was that?
Valdez.
Oh yeah,
and
Oscar.
Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then AJ should be fighting Parker soon, right?
He's at the end of March.
Yeah, Valdez and Queeg is here, right? That's in LA. I think they're doing that.
I think so.
And then Mikey is and Sergey Lipinets are.
Is that next week or is that the 17th?
I think it's on the 10th, right?
Was that one postponed?
Oh, it might have been.
And they pushed it to a later date or something?
It's
No,
still
I
in
think
March.
It's
It's still
either
in March.
next week or it's the 17th.
Yeah, so Mikey's going for his 4th title, or in 4-weight divisions, I mean, against Sergey Lipinets, and then Oscar Valdez, and then Joshua and Parker. Yeah.
Well, I think Valdez's last fight, he got rocked a little bit, right? Was that the?
I didn't see
You
it.
didn't see it?
I didn't see his last fight, actually.
Yeah, it's the first time he got rocked, but yeah, it's exciting to see him and everybody else. Yeah, I love boxing.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then there was a lot of action in your neck of the woods, actually, when you think about it. So the light heavyweight, super middleweight kind of division this weekend had a number of big fights, right? They had Kovalev.
Yep.
They had Dimitri Bivol against Sullivan Barrera, and then Andre Durrell versus Uzcategui. Yeah.
That was a good fight.
Which
All
one?
over the Durrell and how do you say Uzcategui?
You know what's funny is all the Showtime analysts say it differently. It just depends on
Uzcategui.
Each one of them say different.
Uzcategui. Yeah, I think it's Uzcategui. Yeah.
Yeah, he got some skills.
Oh man, yeah, I was surprised by that.
I
Were you
didn't see
surprised?
that. What, he knocked him out?
It was a TKO. He quit on his stool. And
What round?
I don't recall, but it was a later round. Yeah, it was like around 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But he had been pretty much dominating it up until that point. And Durrell was, I mean, they were checking him. He wasn't cut. He was just swollen, and they had the corner checking him and stuff like that. So he was in bad shape.
And that was the rematch from the last fight where the guy came in and sucker punched.
Yeah,
somebody,
Durrell's uncle was had the felony assault charge.
He punched the boxer, right?
He punched. It was Uzcategui because.
Dude, hell of a chin. I saw that because he got a great punch on him, and in slow mo you see it. He landed flush and he took it.
He had to face like a felony assault charge that I think was lowered to a misdemeanor after that. But I was very surprised because the first one was competitive. It was really competitive, but this last one wasn't. So I didn't think it was. Did you?
Well, maybe he was.
I thought Uzcategui had most of those rounds.
Yeah, he had most of them, right?
Well, maybe he was motivated by that sucker punch. You know.
Maybe.
He's like, he's gonna make it decisive. Let me kill this guy.
Did you see? Oh, I was telling Marco. Did you see they postponed that fight by like 30, 40 minutes because he had blood in his urine in the pre-fight. Yeah, and they had to like send it to the hospital for a urinalysis to make sure that he was fit to fight.
That's pretty alarming, though. I mean, I would think that if you're pissing blood before the fight, you're like, I don't think I'm gonna fight.
Well, he said it happened to him before.
Wow.
He said it was fine. They asked him about it in the post.
Did it ever come back? Like what it was? Like why?
No.
Nothing?
Well, not that I saw.
I seen when it happened last night, but they never said. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's weird.
I just know that I think Jim Gray in the ring after the fact had asked him, and he just said, "Yeah, that's happened before. I'm fine. I'm healthy." You know. So.
Well, let's hope it's not an indication of a bigger health issue for the guy that's going to hold him back
Right.
in the future. But
Yeah.
oh man, that I guess if you got to fight, nothing's going to stop you. You know.
Yeah.
But that's some scary stuff right there.
There's actually a lot to keep up with in the sort of super middleweight, light heavyweight space right now, because they have the World Boxing Super Series, all the people coming out of that, and a lot of big names there. They even had a bunch of them on Showtime doing interviews and stuff like that. Do you watch all those guys and do you
follow them all.
You do?
I'm
Yeah.
a huge fan. I look at their record. I watch their old fights. I'm one of those guys that just watches old fights, new fights. Any spare time, I'm on YouTube looking at a fight.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just watching boxing.
Are you
What
watching?
You don't even know. It's just these two guys that I'm like watching their skills. What are they doing wrong? I'm a big fan.
I was gonna say, are you watching him as a fan or as an opponent?
Competitor.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
I'm a fan. Yeah, both. I'm a fan and as a competitor, but I'm trying to better myself to see okay, what combinations are they running?
Yeah.
How's their defense? Maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. Oh, 1, 2, 3, uppercut. Depending, on the whatever combination. I'm like, okay, I can use that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, you're 19-3 now. You're climbing the ranks. You're ranked from what we see, you're ranked number 13 in the U.S. You're one of the top 100 in the world, and you're steadily climbing. Where do you see yourself fitting in? Because you have fought at 168. You just won a title at 175. There's some big names. There's some heavy hitters in both those weight classes.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself fitting in? In the coming months and the next couple of years, you might get a shot at the title. You never know.
Yeah, that's our goal. We have our goals, and I'm getting confident with this last win. I got some more confidence, and I feel like I could swim with these guys. I feel like I could swim with them. I've done some sparring against world titleists, and I did good. I felt like I did good, and I go back and work and train harder, and like I said, I feel like I could swim with them, and we're just waiting for a phone call to see what's next. We feel like we're this close, and I'm excited, super excited.
All right. You have anything lined up just yet for the next fight?
Nothing yet. We got a few phone calls, but nothing written down yet.
Yeah.
So we're waiting to see. We'll just stay in the gym, stay sharp, and try to get better. Try to improve as we're waiting for these phone calls.
Where do you feel that? Where do you want to make your statement? At 168 or 175? Where do you want to put the most work in?
I feel faster, stronger at 168.
Yeah.
But I'll compete with these guys at 175.
Yeah. What's the difference that you see though? Do you see a difference in the 168 to 175?
Speed.
Yeah.
Speed. I would say come that 8th, 9th round, 10th round, you want to probably be at 168.
Yeah.
And,
weight
for
kinda
me,
slows
my
you
body,
down.
yeah. That extra pounds, come 8, 9 rounds, you're like,
Yeah.
deep breath.
Yeah. But you think your speed at 175 is an advantage to you? Those guys are slower.
Yeah. I've sparred with a few 175 pounders, and I did well.
Yeah.
I did well. So, like I said, I feel like I could swim with these dudes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. So, as someone who kind of floats up and down, a casual boxing fan may not understand when you say 168 to 175, or some of these weight class discrepancies. They may not understand what the difference is between those. Do you feel a power difference, a size difference? What when you go from 168 to 175? How much does that size actually matter in terms of what your opponent is able to bring to you?
When you're working mitts with your coach, when you're about 175, you'll feel a little bit more pop.
Really? So you do? You can tell? Yeah, you can feel
more
it.
pop, or my coach would be shaking his hand like, "Ooh." 168, you got more. I'd say more speed.
Yeah.
Like more like, oh, you didn't see that? Oh, jab, jab, jab. You know? A little bit. Yeah, I guess so speed at 168, more power at 175, and then I guess the difference of those is being what you're eating, your diet.
Okay.
Because I'll still train the same, but what I'm eating and not eating to go to those 7 pounds difference.
Take me through this. So what's the difference in the diet?
Carbs. For
Carbs.
me, it's carbs.
Yeah, it's just a lot of carbs.
I'll lower the carbs. I'm gonna get 168. I'll lower the carbs. Obviously, I'll be grumpier. Definitely grumpier. But come that last week, 2 weeks, you're grumpier, but you're about to fight, so they kind of go together, because you're like, okay, I'm gonna beat this dude.
Yeah,
I'm on this diet, so I'm gonna beat this guy.
What's the lowest that you've gone down? I think you've gone down to 165 even, haven't you?
My lowest fight, I believe, was 162.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 162. It was maybe 3.5 years ago. About 3.5 years ago, and maybe it's been a while, so I feel comfortable. I could get to one. I was supposed to fight last November, and I was at 167, about 165, 167 for that fight, but that fight never happened, and so I feel like I get there comfortably.
Okay. Well, off air, we were talking about amateur pedigree, amateur background. Did you have a pretty extensive amateur career in boxing?
I had 20. I had 20 amateur fights. Something that did help me, I did have about 12 amateur Muay Thai fights.
Oh.
I wouldn't say it helped me with boxing, but it helped me being in the ring, in front of crowds, people watching, because I was in front of smaller crowds, maybe a couple hundred, but then as a few big ones.
Yeah.
It was a couple thousand. So
yeah, and those
it was just amateur, but it did help being able to compete in front of those people watching, because
Yeah, get used to the
you
atmosphere.
gotta get used to that, because if your adrenaline starts rushing, so you don't want to be nervous.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. You got a few videos on YouTube with some of your old Muay Thai fights.
Yeah.
But that was those were like pro rules though, right? No headgear, no shin guards.
I had a few no headgear, no shin guards. They just call it amateur, but
Yeah.
It's the same though, right?
yeah, it's the same.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
How'd you make the transition from Muay Thai to boxing? Were you doing both, or?
I was doing both. I really liked Muay Thai. I had a good fight, and I ended up pulling a hamstring, and I just could not kick for.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't lift my leg, and excuse me. I met my coach Alan, and he was showing me some boxing, and I figured, well, while my hamstring's pulled, I'll just work on boxing for now, because it goes together. So we worked a little bit together, and he was like, "Hey, well, this tournament's coming up next year. Why don't you try to win it?" And I was like, "You know what? I really, really want to win that tournament. I do. Okay, let's do that." So it gave me that goal, and then we set that goal, and we started working from that point. Because I was able to box, because my pulled hamstring, I could move around. I just couldn't lift my leg to kick. So we started right there. That's how it started.
What tournament was that?
2012 Golden Gloves.
Oh, nice. How'd you do in that?
I ended up winning it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the novice division. At
Nice.
the time, it wasn't the open division.
what weight class?
Light heavyweight.
Oh, nice.
175. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
What do you think is more dangerous for the competitor?
Muay Thai.
You think Muay Thai is?
Muay Thai.
And the kicks to the head, knees,
Kicks to the
elbows.
head, knees, kick, shin on shin. Ooh, it hurts. Man, you gotta be a warrior to compete in that.
Do you think that built up your tolerance though for maybe
Definitely.
being able to take some of these shots?
At the time, I was like, I think boxing would be easier for me, because I just gotta worry about these two hands
Yeah.
instead of 8 limbs, they say.
Yeah.
Elbows, knees,
Yeah.
feet. So at the time, that's what I thought. But they're both dangerous.
Yeah, both pretty tough.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're tough.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how you won the GBO title. Your last fight was with Ryan Borland.
Right.
That was up north. What city? That was a casino.
It's near Sacramento. It's Cash Creek Casino.
Oh, okay, yeah, and so that was basically in his backyard.
Yeah.
Okay, he was the defending champ. That was at 175. What was his record? 14 and 1 at the time.
It was 14 and 1.
14 and 1 at the time. You come in 18 and 3. It's pretty. That's a pretty good matchup, I think. And I remember talking to Alan about that. I was trying to help set up that fight, and then I was working with the global GBO president to set up that fight. And I remember I sent you a poster that I was doing.
Yeah.
And that was I think that was maybe in February, 2 months before that.
Yeah.
But it was great to see that the fight actually got.
Finally happened.
Yeah, it got made. I wasn't thinking that it was going to be in Ryan's backyard though. Normally, I know Chris has seen you fight. I've seen you fight. You take a lot of people with you to your fights. You always have the most fans.
I got a lot of friends and family.
Yeah. What was that?
We all like boxing.
Yeah.
What was that like being in someone's backyard and the majority of fans are the other guys, not yours?
It was different. But a little bit. It's less stressful, so you don't got to worry about so and so is here, or this person's here. Or, man, my old teacher from 10 years ago, 12, 15 years ago, he's here watching. I don't want to let him down. But it's a little different, but less stressful.
Less stressful. You think it helped you just to focus on the task, the guy in front of you?
Go and just one-on-one, just beat that one-on-one. So it's less stressful, but yeah, it helps. It does help.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but recently one of the I think it was Terrence Crawford, said something about fighting in his hometown and how, it's just people calling you for tickets and your friends and family and all this different stuff, and he kind of was down on fighting in his hometown going forward.
He's got a good point.
Yeah,
Definitely.
he's like all the way to the day of the fight, people are bugging you.
Sometimes I'm getting wrapped up, and I got a cousin texting me like, "Hey, I'm outside. Can I get a ticket?" It's happening. I'm like, oh man. I don't like. I love my family, so I try to get with everybody and meet their demands. But when I'm getting wrapped up, all right, I gotta turn my phone off. Bam.
Yeah. So that fight was it went the distance, and you got the decision on that one. Kind of take us through that fight, because there was a lot of tying up. There was a lot of inside fighting on that. Yeah. What was your main game plan against him?
Our game plan, me and Alan's game plan is always the same. We're gonna do me. We're not gonna do anything else. We do what I do best. So we were clinching because he was coming forward. I felt good about the fight. I felt that he would tire later. He didn't tire later. He did good. Props to him. But I did feel like it was the just decision. I felt like I won that.
Yeah, you felt like you were the busier fighter?
I felt like I was busier and more accurate.
Yeah.
I was landing cleaner shots. He was missing a lot of wild shots.
I thought you used the jab a lot. I thought you were working behind the jab. I don't know, more than normal, but you were pretty effective using the jab, the body and head.
Alan told me that my coach told me that he would jab, so obviously we want to take it away by jabbing. Once I establish mine, he's gonna stop. So yeah, I was jabbing a lot. It felt good though. So it felt like we won that fight.
So you got the victory. It was a majority draw, right? And is that right? It was a majority draw.
One judge had a draw.
Yeah.
So majority.
Majority draw.
Majority win.
When you, I'm sorry, a majority decision. My mistake. So in the majority decision, is there any part of you that makes you feel like I want to go back and get the definitive win, right? I don't like that one judge saw it even.
Yeah, for sure. Cause when they said the announcer said they had a draw, I was like, ooh. but I knew it would be tough because it was his hometown.
Yeah.
And his crowd was screaming. I knew it would be tough, but I felt like I won. I felt like I had it. I felt like I mean, that whole fight, talking to Alan during the corner was like, I think I got that round. I got that round. I think I got that round. So after the fight, I was like, Alan, I think maybe he got one or two, but I feel like
Yeah. You felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was confident when they were doing that, the decision. Even though I was a little worried, I was like, nah, I feel like I won this.
Was it, in terms of getting up for this fight, because it was GBO title, because it was in his hometown, was there some nerves or something like that you felt going into it that you generally don't feel, or do you always feel kind of a butterfly kind of feeling?
You always get the butterflies, but I was more excited for this one since it was away from my hometown. For the GBO title, it's just like, man, the training, my running.
Yeah.
It's like when you want to stop, you go a little bit more. Running, push-ups, pull-ups. You want to stop? Nah, just keep going.
How long was the camp? Was it longer than normal, or was it your regular?
A little bit longer than normal. I got I believe full 7 weeks. A full 7 weeks. Normally, when I'm fighting 6-rounders, it's a six weeks.
Yeah.
So this is an 8-rounder. I was able to get a good seven weeks.
Yeah, and then when they made the announcement that you won, there was a lot of booze in the crowd, right? What was that like?
A lot of it made it sweet. It made it sweet because I felt like I won that, and I know the judges got it. They got it right. Cause a few of the guys that were in that area, patted me on the back like, hey, "Good job, Ryan. You got that."
Yeah.
Even when walking out, a few of the people were there like, "Hey, man, that's a great fight." Shook my hand. Told me, "Hey, you got that."
Well, yeah, the fans.
A few drunk people.
Yeah, fans should
disagreed.
be happy.
Well, I think it's funny. You always hear fighters all the time coming out of a fight and losing perhaps a decision. They'll say something to the effect of, "You can hear the fans. They know who won tonight." But it's that just means you have more fans in the arena. It doesn't mean that you actually won the fight. Like in that case, Manny Pacquiao won every fight he ever fought just because of the amount of fans that he's got in the arena.
Some gamblers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
They lost all their money.
Yeah.
Well, so what did it feel like to get your first title? Your first strap around your waist.
Amazing. It was just dream come true.
Yeah.
You always thought. I always waited for that moment as a kid. Watching WWE, and I used to watch boxing with my dad, so I always wanted to wrestle with my little brothers. Got a little belt right here. Yeah, so the real one felt great.
That's awesome.
That's cool, man. So when you picked up the belt, you brought it with you, so you get to take it home and stuff like that. You just hold it in a case. Where do you keep it at the house? Is it on display?
Yeah, do you walk around with it everywhere?
Yeah, do you wear it on the outside of your robe when you get up in the morning?
Right now, I do carry it with me because there's I run into a lot of people, family members, like aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers. Hey, you want to see the belt? It's in the trunk right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right now, I'm carrying it around, just showing. We don't have a champion in our valley like that, so for people to see it, it's like, oh, it's cool, man. And then it's nice and heavy, so they're like, oh, heavy.
You mentioned so you said you and your dad used to watch boxing and stuff like that. Who are some of the people that influence you? Some of the fighters that you used to watch and think, man, that's a great boxer. I want to be like that.
My dad used to have his favorites, older guys like Marco Carbajal and Alexis Arguello, and then I know he started watching. He was a big Chavez fan, and that's when I started joining in. Like, okay, Chavez is fighting this week, and then he watched Tyson. I remember being a little kid. He had his buddies over watching the Tyson fight, but I think when I really started getting into it was De La Hoya.
Oh, okay.
When De La Hoya fought Trinidad, we went over to my aunt's house, watched that fight, and before the fight started, and I had adrenaline rush, and I'm like, man, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
They're about to fight. This is a good fight, So at that point, I was like, man, that's a good feeling.
Well, how old were you when you had your first amateur?
My first amateur fight was, I believe I was maybe 27.
Oh wow, so that's kind of a late start,
Yeah,
no?
I got a late start.
Wow.
Had you been training for a long time before that 27, or was it like?
I was just in the gym, trying to stay in shape.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't want to get chunky.
Yeah.
So I was in the gym. And then, I was at a boxing and Muay Thai gym, so there'd be people there competing, and they'd ask, hey, you want to spar? So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm okay with that, because I used to fight when I was a little kid, fight with my brothers or at school or things like that. So I was used to, like, combat. So, I started competing with these guys. I'd spar with these guys that were already competing, and I'd be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll do a match. Maybe I'll do an amateur match just to, say I did it. So
Yeah.
and then that's how it started. Yeah, it started like that.
It's been rolling.
Well, you got kind of a late start. How does and you've got you got quite a few years now competing in the pros.
Yeah.
They say it's a young man's sport, but you're still finding some success. How does your body feel after training camp, after the fights? You think you can go till like 50, like be hot maybe?
I don't know how he does that. That's tough. I mean, my body's okay. After this last fight, I was actually like happy because I was thinking my elbow would be sore or something would be sore. I was a little sore, but I was in the gym on Monday with the black eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lifting weights.
That's one thing your trainer Alan tells me. Yeah, I never have to look for Jose. He's always at the gym.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta stay in shape.
yeah, that's
like
good.
I said, I don't want to get chunky.
You're in there every day then?
4 or 5 days a week.
4 or 5 days. How many hours do you train?
Once camp starts, if I'm in camp, I'm there 5, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
I train. I'm gonna lift weights an hour for sure. If it's camp, once camp comes, I'll be in there 2-3 hours a day.
Okay.
Yeah. Running or boxing, some type of strength training.
Well, you're a professional boxer. You're a family man.
Yeah.
You also are an entrepreneur, right? You own some pizza shops, I heard.
Yeah, I have 2. One in Rosemont, one in California City.
What's the name of those pizza
Jesse's
shops?
Pizza.
Jesse's Pizza.
Named it after my son.
Oh, nice. So how do you find the time? You must you must be the busiest guy in Lancaster, no?
I'm busy. Busy. Yeah, it's true. But I'm blessed, man. I got a good team. My employees, managers. Blessed that I just oversee them and they handle it. That's what kind of got me. I was able to start doing amateur shows once I opened my first shop. It was running, and I stepped away and was able to go to the gym and get some free time and start messing around, boxing, kickboxing. So I just oversee my employees and stuff. So I'm blessed with a good team.
We're especially appreciative that you came out here.
Yeah.
You did all that.
I appreciate you guys inviting me.
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna have to go up there and get a
Yeah,
pizza.
we'll get a slice.
Yeah.
It'll be
Do a
worth
show
it,
from
man.
there.
I'm confident with our ingredients. Man.
Really. That's awesome.
It's good. It's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Jesse's Pizza.
Jesse's
Plug it.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of explains why you have a lot of fans. You must be making good pizza, and then they see you win in fights, so they're like, "Oh, we gotta go watch Jose. He makes great pizza, and he
Right.
beats people up." That's awesome.
Well, I was born and raised right there in Lancaster, so
Cool.
I'm still there. About 10 minutes north in Rosemont. I went to school in Rosemont, so I know a lot of,
So
teachers.
winning a title, I saw you got a couple newspaper articles out of it, and
Yeah.
did things change a little bit, or did you get a little bit more publicity, a little bit more, I don't know, celebrity in your hometown like that?
You know what? I got a few text messages, a couple hugs, some phone calls. People were happy, but for the most part, people already, respect me and show me love back. Because I do other stuff in the community. Supporting and sponsoring like the softball team, the high school football,
Oh, wow.
little league. I do that through the business. Jesse's
Yeah.
Pizza, Little Miss Rosemont, Little Miss Cal City. Anytime somebody asks, I have a big heart. I don't say no.
That's awesome.
So your daughter's here with you, and you said you have a son as well. Those are your two? You have two kids?
Just two.
Are they into boxing?
My daughter, she'll go, Daddy, boxing. She's only 2 though, so I don't want her to box. My son, he knows the sport and he watches it with me, but when it comes down to train, he's like, he don't really want it.
Doesn't want it.
But he's athletic, so he's into baseball, basketball, soccer. Real good player. Yeah, all 3. So, but I'll try to be like, hey, let's go box a little bit. Oh, Dad, I don't want to do that. But you know, when I do finally get him on the mitts, he's pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Just getting him to do the mitts is the problem.
How old is he now?
He's 11.
He's 11. Oh, he's in competition age.
Yeah.
We had an 11-year-old here that had 53 fights about 3 weeks ago. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
See, when he asked me to do it, I'm a supporter, but I don't want to make him.
Yeah.
So we'll just let him do his baseball, basketball, soccer right now. So then when he's ready for boxing, then we'll do that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Cool. And so, I mean, the reason I ask, I have a daughter, and I think before she was born, I would have said it'd be really cool if she got into boxing, you know, because I'm so into it and stuff like that. And I think women's boxing is becoming bigger now than it has been in the past. There's a lot of good female boxers and stuff. That was all before she was born. As soon as she was born, now I'm like, I don't want her box. I don't want her to box.
They're too precious.
Yeah, exactly.
They're too precious.
Exactly.
Like, you don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, she's a little bit older. She's a 3.5, but
Right.
I'm like, oh no, I can't see it now.
When she cries, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, you'll
drop everything to run over there.
Yeah, you'll jump in the ring and.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to train your kid. It's got to be hard.
I'll teach her the sport. Maybe do some mitts, but I don't know if I'll watch her spar or anything like that.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Well, I met your dad a few times at the sparring, but he never trained you. You've only trained with Alan.
I trained with Alan. When I was little, my dad hung the bag in the garage, of course.
Yeah.
So I remember being 5th grade. He had the bag in there.
There you go. Well, he got you started then.
1, 2,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Jab, cross, hook. He taught me the basics.
Cool.
Yeah, it's weird when you see these cats sometimes, and their parents maybe into boxing but weren't boxers themselves, and they train like I don't think Enzo Calzaghe was not a boxer, right?
No, he was a jazz player.
Yeah, he was
a
like
musician.
a jazz musician, and then raised his son to be like an undefeated world
Calzaghe?
champion. Yeah. And it's like, but he was not a boxer, but trained his son his entire career. And it's a trip to me to see how people can put that together, that kind of knowledge. I mean,
yeah. Well, I think what was the guy named Emmanuel Stewart? He never went pro. He did have a few amateur fights.
I thought he was like a national Golden Gloves champion, wasn't he? Like he was,
might. Yeah,
I thought he had a good amateur experience.
But he never went pro.
But I mean, there's a competitor. Yeah, he's a real good coach.
Yeah, real good coach. So, I think I don't know. Maybe it's just in the blood or something, or it's just you just gravitate towards it and you're good. I don't know. I think with Calzaghe, I think it has something to do with music and rhythm.
You think so?
Yeah, because when he's holding, when he's holding,
it's all the same.
Yeah, because when he's holding the mitts, and you're holding mitts, you're just like ba 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 ba. It's kind of maybe like jazz.
Just like jazz drums.
Yeah,
huh?
a little bit.
It's
like
the same
music.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? But I want to talk a little bit about your career. You've had some ups and downs, right? I mean, you're steadily climbing, but you've had some good wins. You've had some losses. So you've had some hurdles to get over.
Right.
What do you think your biggest hurdle is now? You could easily just say, hey, I don't.
I've done a lot.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Yeah,
I've done a lot, man. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to catch these goals that we have, man.
Yeah.
I want a big fight on TV, Showtime, HBO, the world title. So I'm almost there. Just to get this far, I'm this close.
Yeah.
Might as well go a little bit more.
Well, you fought who's that guy? You fought one on TV, right?
Yeah.
What was his name? Was that one loss?
Ulysses,
Ulysses. You fought Ulysses.
Oh yeah.
You had a loss right there.
Right.
Are you kind of afraid of that happening again? If you was that too soon?
I guess you don't
know?
want that to happen. You want to
Yeah.
get embarrassed like that, but I mean, things happen for a reason. I mean, go from there, just get better.
Well, how did that Ulysses fight change things for you after that?
I mean, man, mainly I was just mad because that opportunity slipped from my hand. You know, I wanted to compete on TV. It didn't go my way that night. Like I said, I was just mad.
Yeah, because you were steady
But
climbing.
But I haven't stopped. And
Yeah. Yeah, you got back
keep
on.
climbing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep climbing, and whatever comes next, we'll see.
In terms of like TV fights and stuff like that, so let's say, you know, HBO calls tomorrow and they say, you know, Bivol or one of these guys, you know what I mean? Is that a level where you're like, yeah, let's do it, or are there still things you want to do before you get there?
I mean, I think that'd be something. I'll call my coach and he'll call me and we'll say, hey, you want to do this? What do you think? You think we could give this dude some problems?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we just communicate, me and him.
Yeah.
And you know, he'll tell me like, hey, well, maybe we should get a fight before, or let's do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm hoping getting those phone calls soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was this last fight you think your toughest fight out of all that you had?
It was a tough fight. Fun though. I mean, I was glad to walk away, no injuries. I had a couple little marks from my headbutt, but it was fun, man. It was great. Felt like I could learn from that. We watched that tape and just try to get better from that.
Yeah, well, I feel like almost all of your opponents, all of your bouts from this point on will probably be pretty tough, right?
Yeah. They've been getting
It's hard to go
tougher,
backwards from here.
Right. So, to beat Ryan, and he was a tough fighter, boosted my confidence. So now we're looking to step it up another notch. And like I said earlier, me and Alan, we think we could give these dudes some problems. Like I said, swim with the big fish.
Yeah. Alan had mentioned to me he wanted maybe set up a fight with Pinnell.
Oh, right.
What do you think about that? I think he might only have one loss. I'm not sure. Maybe no more than two, I think.
I'm not sure. I know his record's similar to mine.
Yeah.
So, and I think we almost made that fight a few times, but I think he wanted it at 165.
Yeah.
And I was like 168. And I don't know. The camps were just communicating, and it just hasn't happened.
Well, you know, like when I was talking to Alan about doing the GBO fight, I said, "Who do you want? Who do you want to fight?" And he said, "Well, we want Borland." Is there anybody that you would call out? You want to call out? Is there anybody that you're like, I want to fight that guy next? You know?
I mean, we want to fight. We want to fight for a world title.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's our goal. That'd be as soon as we get a phone call from somebody, you know, wants to give us that chance. We want to take that.
Anybody holding a belt, right?
The 168 pound,
All right.
168, or maybe 175.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Well, you watch. What do you think about these guys like Benavidez and Caleb Plant and some of these other guys in that weight class?
They're good. They're
Yeah.
fun to watch. Like I said, I'm a fan at the same time. I'm a competitor. So
Yeah.
they're good, but you know, I'd like to step in and see what I could do against them.
Yeah.
That's like sometimes I'm curious about that. You see, for instance, like when Marciano fought Joe Louis, how distraught he was having done that because he was such a fan going forward. So you watch these guys and you say, hey, I'm a fan of these guys who are super middleweights. Maybe they're a little bit older now, something like that. How would you leave that behind when you go into the ring to face them? Like, do you think that would be difficult for you to do?
Nah, it wouldn't be difficult. Once that bell rings, you're in a fight. So you know your adrenaline's rushing and you're in a fight. So
Yeah.
you gotta compete.
Yeah, you gotta compete.
You're competing.
You could still respect them even if you compete, right?
Respect them after the fight, after you compete.
Well, yeah. Did you watch the De La Hoya Chavez with your dad? When that was a similar thing, and that's why a lot of people hated De La Hoya after that, because he just beat the crap out of Chavez, and he's every Mexican's favorite, you know, and a lot of boxing fans.
That's
favorite.
how I kind of felt when I watched Danny Garcia beat Eric Morales.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
a
yeah.
big Eric Morales fan, and then he was a little bit older, and Garcia knocked him out. I was like, oh. I didn't really feel like Morales should even been there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's old. He was older at the
Oh
time.
yeah, he retired and then he came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
He won some good fights after when he came
Yeah.
back, but Garcia was too much.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
came back a little bit heavier, and then I think he fought. He
Yeah.
had a really good fight with Maidana, actually, didn't he? Right after he came back,
I think you
and
might
then
be right.
and then he was he was at a higher
He was
weight class
heavier.
though. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
heavier.
Yeah, he kind of had a belly.
Yeah. Did you
But-
see Garcia's knockout of Rios the other day?
Yeah, I seen that.
That was a remarkable punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some skills.
Yeah.
Garcia.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you fight Porky Medina.
Yeah.
Since all the all the other guys who are champs or gonna be champs fight that
Fight
guy.
him. You gotta
Yeah.
fight him.
You gotta
to
fight
take-
Yeah,
If I
I'd love
gotta
to
fight
see that.
if I gotta fight him to get to those guys, I'll do it.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
That would be pretty good, for sure. Let me ask about this this GBO title fight that we were talking about. You had said, we were talking before, it was an inside fight, it was a lot of scrapping, close combat kind of thing. It's not something that you actually see, or that I have seen, I should say, a lot of training specifically for, that type of dogfight, you know what I mean?
Right.
How do you prepare yourself for that fight? Is that something that in camp you say, hey, we're going to train this, or is it just happen in the moment?
It does happen in the moment, but you know what? We do train for a dog fight. We train for a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to box, we can box. If somebody wants to scrap, we'll scrap. Close fighting, defensive fighting. We train for it all. We
That's
train
good.
for it all.
Because I see a lot of times, like, you don't see a lot of coaches who train how to work in the clinch, for instance. You don't see a lot of coaches who train what to do when you're hurt. Like for instance, Deontay Wilder, shouldn't he have just taken a knee? Shouldn't he have taken a knee? Why let yourself continue to be punished? He could have taken the 8 count, right? And a person who I've seen do this many times, who I actually think does it really effectively, was Miguel Cotto, who, when he's hurt, rather than get punished, he takes the knee, he takes the 8 count, and then he recuperates, stands up, and comes back.
I think so, but you know what? I don't think he had the opportunity to take a knee because
Wilder?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Ortiz was on top of him most of the time. He was
Yeah.
landing those big shots, and I've seen Cotto. He'll slide back and then take.
Yeah,
a knee.
he takes the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of fighters don't.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters will just stand there and try everything they can to stand up and take more and more punishment rather than.
Well, it's that weakness because once you show a little bit of weakness, that's when the other guy jumps on you. That's what I think.
And when you're in that moment, so how
Yeah.
can you think like, okay, hold on, you're fighting, so it's hard to think. Okay, hold on, let me take a knee.
Yeah, it's one of the things I
You
always
don't
thought was
wanna-
remarkable about Cotto.
Yeah, it's just
Like-
it's one of those moment things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. It's I think it would look bad if he took a knee, and you could almost see Wilder kind of talking to himself, like pumping himself up
Yeah.
while he's getting punched. He's just like,
It's interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because you can
Yeah.
see even when they show the instant replays, and this is not just in this past fight, it's every one of his knockouts. When he has someone hurt, you can see the moment in his face
oh yeah,
that he realizes it, and his eyes go
Yeah.
wide, and he just like chases you,
Oh yeah.
like just like chases you all over the ring.
yeah.
It's such an
He
interesting
sees
thing.
you're hurt, he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I seen
His
that.
eyes like
I see
wide
it.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read something on the internet where it said as soon as he lands that right hand, he turns back into a street fighter and
Yeah.
runs at
It's
you.
crazy.
Starts wailing
Yeah,
on it. Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
so weird.
There's like zero tech, or what appears to be zero technique on the shots after the one that shows the pain. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
see him land the first shot, and then every shot after that is coming from anywhere you can
Who
put
knows
it.
where?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, have you've had what 22 pro bouts, right?
23.
23. So have you fought many southpaws?
You know what? I think I've only fought one.
Yeah.
No, two.
Two.
I fought two.
Yeah. So what's
I've sparred against southpaws though.
Yeah.
I did really well. It doesn't.
what's the difficulty in that?
I would say the main difficulty is finding someone to spar to prepare for a southpaw. But
Yeah,
it's a
good
little
one.
bit different, but not too much.
It's funny. Kovalev said the same exact thing last night. Did you see the post-fight interview?
I didn't see.
Yeah,
that.
Kovalev they asked him to rate his performance, given this opponent, and what he explained was that he thought he should have done better, but he didn't prepare well enough for a southpaw. He said he only had one southpaw sparring partner, and they had a hard time finding southpaws to spar with, and he thought he would have done better with an orthodox fighter.
Yeah, well, it's hard to find a good southpaw too,
Yeah. So he said the same thing.
It's definitely different. It's different.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I give more credit, I think, than people are giving to Wilder for winning that fight.
Yeah.
Because
Ortiz is tough.
even if he doesn't have the greatest technique or looks, that fundamental and that sharp with his boxing, he had to deal with a very good boxer, slick boxer who's also a southpaw, and he was he I thought he was smart about it. He kept throwing his jab. When he got hurt, he took that round off. He stayed on the outside most of the time, and he avoided that straight left, which is what southpaws try to do most of the time, is throw the straight left.
Yep.
So even though it didn't look clean, I thought he boxed well. I thought he boxed smart. It was a good strategy.
Say it like this. So I think we all agreed when we talked at the beginning, he was losing. So he was being outboxed, right?
Yeah,
he was losing the fight.
I agree with Susan.
Yeah, so if he were to face Anthony Joshua, as an example, do you feel as though Deontay Wilder could outbox Anthony Joshua? Meaning, over a period of 12 rounds, neither man goes down. Do you expect that Deontay Wilder wins that fight?
I think he could win the fight because he doesn't box. He fights.
That's interesting. Those three judges are gonna have it tough.
Yeah, because I look at
They're
it.
gonna have it tough.
I think what Deontay Wilder's goal is against Anthony Joshua, which is the same as everybody, right, is to hurt them and finish them, right? And if he can't do that, then he probably has a good chance of losing.
Well, I'm interested to see that fight.
Especially if it's in Europe.
Yeah, which it must be, right? Because that's where they're going to put 80,000, 90,000 people in an arena. Right?
Well, there have been some pretty obvious robberies of American fighters over there.
Somewhere else,
Germany.
Yeah.
A lot of that happens.
Yeah, so we'll see. But, Klitschko was pretty effective with his 1-2, throwing his jab and following up with that right hand. And then Joshua, he got dropped. And he was very, very tired in the 5th and 6th round. So I think Wilder has a really good shot.
Joshua showed a lot of character in that respect too, though.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. Yeah, let me ask you this. So coming out of this fight with Luis Ortiz, which I think it was an amazing fight. It's actually one of the best fights I've seen. I feel in a very long time. Is Deontay Wilder now? Does he look more vulnerable than he did before, or more dangerous than he did before?
I say dangerous.
You think so?
I say dangerous because he was in that phase where he was hurt and he recovered and he came back, and now he's shown that he could come back and take some shots.
Sure.
And come back.
He definitely took some big shots.
Yeah.
But he also was maybe one punch away from being out of there, right? I feel like I was telling Marco earlier, I actually think some percentage of referees, I'll say 40-50%, might have stopped it in favor of Ortiz in round 7. There are a few refs who would have waved that off.
Possibly.
But that's also the ref that gave him 20 extra seconds going into round 8 when he was hurt. He's like, doctor, come look at him. Check. Make sure he's got enough Vaseline on his face or something.
What are you trying to say, man?
Well, and then the scorecards were way off.
The scorecards were pretty far off.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty obvious.
That's a good point right there, Marco.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's skewed, They want Wilder to win.
Some referees would have waved it.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I wouldn't be surprised if Ortiz gets a title shot at Joshua instead.
No. I mean,
because he performed well enough.
I hope we see him again. I mean,
right?
He should totally fight again.
He's got a good style.
Yeah, I felt bad that he lost because he put up a great fight.
Yeah, he did.
I think it changes the narrative a little bit. I mean, there was this thought that, Anthony Joshua is going for 3 of the 4 alphabet belts at this point, and that he had already stated in his last post-fight interview he was only interested in fighting his mandatories. He wasn't going to lose his belts for not fighting mandatories and things like that. But after this fight, how could you not push to get the two of them in the ring together, right? Like the fight kind of changes your perspective and goes, we might have to do this now more than later.
There's a real argument who's the greater heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's the best?
Best heavyweight. I don't know that it was a real argument before, but it certainly is now. It certainly is now. So I hope it happens, actually. I originally said I didn't think it would happen. I thought Joshua would take another fight before Deontay Wilder, but I'm not so sure anymore.
I mean, hopefully if he gets past, who's it, Parker?
Yeah, he has to get
past Parker.
Get Parker at the end. Yeah. So.
Well, geez, these guys, these guys are talking about what, 20, 30 million dollars each when they or more. I don't know what the number is, but must be nice to get to that point where you can where you got that you've got $20 million staring you in the face to make that fight. So
it's got to happen in England, though.
Yeah.
I think there's just he's such a big draw.
I want to see it in England. I want it. It should be over there.
It has to. I mean, you can't. How do you pass having 90,000
bigger
guaranteed
stadiums?
fans? Yeah, like it's
they got a
crazy.
big fan base over there. Crazy fans.
I don't know. So for some reason, it might just be me, but doesn't it look better in their stadiums? Their lighting and everything seems like a little bit.
It's
I don't know.
mystic, like that mystic.
The grand entrances. Too.
Yeah.
A lot of the grand entrances.
Yeah. So
the giant AJ on fire, like in lights, as he's wearing the disco ball robe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully you get to fight in Staples Center or the Forum or something like that.
Staples, man. Yeah. That'd be
Talk
cool.
about big
That's what we're
stadiums.
hoping for, man.
Yeah.
Hoping for phone calls, big call. Waiting on that, staying ready.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get better, man. We're getting ready for it.
Yeah. Well, if Golden Boy or Top Rank or anybody else is listening, call Jose. He's ready. Give him a title shot.
He's ready.
He brings in lots of fans as an incentive, and makes good pizza.
Yeah,
Great pizza.
We're gonna have to go try a couple slices now.
Yeah,
grab
absolutely. Well, another thing we just talked about sparring. You live in Lancaster. It's about what, hour and a half away, 2 hours maybe.
2 hours with traffic.
Yeah, and there are some good fighters out there near in Kern County in that area, but preparing for a fight, aside from the running and the gym work and all that kind of stuff, how do you find sparring? Do you have to come down here to LA or?
For the most part, yeah. We got a few good dudes at our gym, some amateurs that they're skilled. So if I can't make it to LA, we'll get it right there in house. We like to call it in house. We don't got to travel far. So we do got some amateurs right there that'll work. That I work with for the most part. But here and there, I'll go to LA, Long Beach. If I get the phone call.
What do you think
I've been to Oxnard a couple times.
If you get Oxnard's a pretty big hotbed for boxing.
Yeah.
If you do get a title shot, or something pretty big, or an eliminator bout, something like that, do you think you'll change it up a little bit and try to get some more sparring down
try
here?
To get the best sparring available, because that's what's going to prepare you the best. So for sure, yeah. If we get that call, I'm sure we'll keep doing what we're doing and get those, get that best sparring possible.
How much running do you do before the fights? How many miles per session?
I tried different things. I've tried doing some sprinting. I've tried just some jogging for different fights. So this last few fights, I've actually done more sprinting than jogging.
Yeah, then the long distance running.
Distance, I've been doing more sprinting. So I think that's helped a lot. I think we'll stick with that.
Do you find that the road work, the long distance running, kind of beats up your knees a little bit, and the sprinting is a little more efficient?
Yeah, definitely. Because I don't like the long distance on the treadmills. That's boring.
Yeah.
So you got to go on the road, and it does wear. It'll wear on you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Cardio is like the number one thing in boxing, aside from having the skill to be able to, to land your punches. But yeah, you got it.
Diet.
And diet, yeah.
Yeah.
You see,
big.
Tyson Fury put the video up yesterday of him running, carrying the giant tree trunk. Like he's like has a big log, like a huge log, running uphill.
No, but is he?
He posts up. I laugh at his videos every time.
Is he still fat though?
He's working on it. He's working on it.
He's lost some weight. Though,
He's lost. Oh yeah, of course he has.
Yeah. I think we mentioned that guy on every podcast. Tyson Fury.
He's funny. He's entertainment, man.
That's yeah.
Hopefully he'll fight again here one time.
I'd like to see him back in the ring for sure.
Yeah, that would change the heavyweight mix a little bit too.
Yeah. Throw his name in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they might just Joshua and Wilder might just circumvent each other and go after Fury, right?
Like, what do you from a money perspective? What do you think makes more money for Anthony Joshua if he's fighting Tyson Fury, or if he's fighting Deontay Wilder?
Tyson Fury is big too. He's
Yeah.
He's right there.
That would
too.
be huge, right?
I think he might be getting the same either way.
You
Same
think-
amount of money.
Yeah, he's double dipping
in
at that
case,
point.
Why not do Fury first?
Yeah, exactly. He's
It's an
if he
easier
makes
fight.
if he makes less, he'll make a little bit less. You know,
Yeah.
he'll still be in $15-20 million or something. But yeah, I mean that way.
Take out Fury first.
Yeah, take out Fury first, make 20-30 million there, then go after the big one. And then if he beats Fury in the grand fashion with big knockout or anything like that, his stock goes up even more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
He can demand more money.
even though Fury was lineal champion, he won the title by landing like 5 punches around or something like that.
Oh,
That was one of the. That's like the opposite of the fight we saw last night.
Against which one?
Klitschko.
Him and Klitschko. Yeah,
Really?
Fury and Klitschko was
Snoozer or what?
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I think I saw a few highlights.
There were no highlights, so that's not
Yeah,
possible.
That's why there was a few. Nice.
All right, so we're pushing an hour right now.
All right.
What do you think? You wanna wrap it up? You got more
Yeah.
things you wanna go through?
No, I think we covered that. It's nice having Jose here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys inviting me, man.
No, I'm
Yeah.
glad, man. Glad you came down.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because we basically seen your whole career. I mean, at
Yeah,
least in
I've been
the
watching
pros,
you. I've been watching
from the
for a long
first
time.
fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I gotta say, we're proud of you. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
We've seen you.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And hopefully, I want you to get a title shot and get a big money fight and win.
Yeah.
I know Alan, your trainer, is a great guy. Does a good job running his gym and having a good stable of fighters.
Definitely.
And it's great to see a hometown guy who's been working hard and deserves it.
So that's what we've been doing, working hard. We did a lot in the last 5 years.
Well, yeah,
5 years.
you're one of the busiest. You're one of the busiest guys though with the boxing. I mean, you're fighting like what? I swear, sometimes it seems like you're fighting every month, every 2
We
months.
try to get them in because we're getting older, so we're trying to get them in, trying to get we're trying to get to this point right here to get that phone call for a big fight. So we're here, so just waiting on our phone.
Yeah, well, all right, Oscar, call him.
Yeah. Call him up. He's got a fan base. Trust us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
You carry a lot of people with you.
Yeah, man. I'm blessed, man. I know a lot of people, friends, family.
If you had a fight at Staples, I think there'd be a good crowd.
No, I remember. Yeah, a huge crowd. But I remember one fight. I swear there was at least 100 people wearing Team Hernandez shirts. That was,
Yeah.
I think,
All Star must love you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, but speaking of All Stars, they've you have fought a lot on the All Star Promotions card, right?
Yeah.
But they've called you on short notice too, right?
He called me a few times on short
Yeah.
notice.
But some of those fights weren't easy opponents either.
No.
Like I think they gave you short notice against was it Hayes?
Yeah.
And that guy was pretty
I think
good.
We knew that week, like, hey, we're gonna fight John Hayes.
Yeah, that was like maybe your 6th or 7th bout, I think.
Yeah. about
And that guy was undefeated at the time. He was a
guy.
pretty tall guy.
Tough guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I saw that fight and you beat him, and I was like, man, those days looking really good. Because that guy was
I
no
felt
slouch.
good about that. He was a tough guy. He gave a lot of dudes problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about that one, man. Raised my confidence a little bit more.
Yeah, that was a good fight. That was
So,
a good
yeah,
fight.
yeah. I fought dudes on short up, and then when I fought the Bulldog last year,
Lucius.
Lucius.
Yeah. Well, I've worked with him in the past. He thought he was kind of jobbed on that fight. where he thought he won that.
Yeah.
But I thought you outworked him from round
like
1
it was
through
a-
6
I felt like
easily.
It was a chess decision.
Yeah.
I felt like the judges got that right.
Yeah, that was a good fight too. Good performance, and that was right after sparring with the world champ for a while, right?
Right.
That was good. Yeah.
So I was supposed to fight maybe a week or two before, and that fell through. All-Star called me and was like, "Hey, we got a match with Lucius. You want it?" We took it.
All right. Well, if Ed calls you back for short notice, tell him the price has gone up triple since you're the champ now, and you got to be the main event. So.
For sure.
But yeah, you want to wrap it up, Chris?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
You want to do some shout outs? Who do you got this week?
Shout outs. Well, since he's not here, I want to give a shout out to Alan Cox, your trainer. He's the owner of Monster Fitness out in Lancaster, right?
Frontline Fitness now.
Oh, Frontline. He changed the name?
Yeah, he had to change the
Uh
name.
oh.
Frontline Fitness.
Frontline Fitness. Yeah,
Lancaster, California.
he's a great trainer, nice guy.
Great gym.
Yeah, every time I see him, he's always in a good mood and positive attitudes, and I just want to
Definitely good dude.
give him a shout out and say great job with Jose. Keep it up, and I'm rooting for you guys. Hope you guys get
Thanks,
the title
Alan.
shots in. And that's about it.
All
what
right.
about you, Chris?
I'm gonna get a little heavy for a second, actually, if you don't mind. So, there's a fighter by the name of Scott Westgarth, a light heavyweight out of the UK, professional record of 7-2-1, who died last week after winning a decision in his 10th professional bout. He was dropped in the 10th, got off the canvas to win, but he went to his locker room and he collapsed in his locker room and died the next day. So I think it was the day that we were actually recording our show on Sunday. So I just want to quickly share his GoFundMe. The link is actually in the description on the YouTube video, and I've got it on the screen right now. So we've donated to the GoFundMe for Scott Westgarth, and I just want to give a second to say, a lot of respect to everybody, any fighter, because we as fans look at this as entertainment, but this is people's lives. People train, they work real hard for this, and so I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you and also respect.
Yeah, definitely. Rest in peace
Yeah.
to that
Well
man.
said. Well said. Rest in peace.
Anything else?
That's it. What about you, Jose? Want to say shout out? Anybody?
No, I just want to say hi to my friends and family, my son Jesse and my daughter Savannah. Hi, baby.
All right. Well, that does it for this weekend's podcast.
Yep.
We'll be back next week.
That's
and,
right.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and thanks, Champ. I appreciate you coming down,
Thanks
man.
for inviting me,
Cool-
man.
cool to talk to you.
Next time I'll bring some pizza.
Yeah.
All right.
And we get hungry around here.
Yeah, we do. Cool.
Awesome. All right.
All right,
We're
guys.
out.
We're out.